What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be going over the first post-banlist video on the channel with the hits to Tearlaman's The Wind statue, which is actually relevant to this video, along with the Ishizu cards, as well as getting to the end of my Photon Hypernova journey, which I might redo some of it later on because of some of the hits that we've gotten. But before I begin, if you happen to enjoy content like this, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons would be greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. It would also go a long way if you could click on those notification bells, as it helps notify you when I upload on the channel. So this first combo here, I kind of have to go through for the people learning the deck, as well as it explaining the lines of play in a couple of the next combos that I'm going to take. And this first combo can be any of the Scareclaw level 3s. It can also be Reichheart, just as long as you can go into your Lightheart. And we're going to start this combo by normal summoning it. From here we can go into our Lightheart, and this will net us our search for the Scareclaw field spell. From here we'll activate the Scareclaw field spell, which will allow us to add the Reichheart, and now we can special summon out the Reichheart, which will give us a free extender via the arrival, as we're going to add it off the Reichheart. And then from here we're going to activate the arrival, which will allow us to special summon back out the Astra, and now we'll be able to go into our Triheart with the most of ease, but this also allows us to use its effect to get back the Astra, then search ourselves a Scareclaw here, which this is the first new one that we have, and it's called Scareclaw Kashtira. It's a level 7, 0 attack, 2600 defense, psychic type, and during the main phase, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, banish one Kashtira or Scareclaw card from your hand or graveyard. You can only use the effect of Scareclaw Kashtira once per turn. This card can attack while in face-up defense position, and if it does, apply its defense for damage calculation. The effects of any opponent's monster that battles your Kashtira or Scareclaw monsters are negated until the end of the turn. Now, I want to note, if this really is the scenario you're playing in, where you only have one of your level 3s and nothing else in hand, it would be better to add your Reichheart for a follow-up instead of the Scareclaw Kashtira, but for the first combo I just wanted to get it, and also to show how you can save it for your opponent's turn if you need to protect yourself from an attack so you don't die if they happen to get over your Triheart and you have nothing else to protect you. Now this second combo should give you the idea of why I did that first combo, but I'm going to be starting with Astra and the Scareclaw Kashtira here, and you don't want to use the Scareclaw Kashtira straight away because your level 3 Scareclaw monsters can get you into full combo, and then you can use the Scareclaw Kashtira later on. But we're going to follow the steps that we did in the previous combo here, adding us our Reichheart. We can then special summon it, use its effect, which will net us a search here, and now we're going to get the second new card here, Scareclaw Defang, and it reads your opponent cannot target Scareclaw Link monsters and Visa Starfrost you control with card effect. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. That is very important because it protects your Triheart, it helps the protect the castle sort of strategy that this deck has going for it. But any monster destroyed by battle with your Scareclaw Link monster or Visa Starfrost is banished. You can banish one Scareclaw Link monster from your field or graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use this effect of Defang once per turn. So you can see the amount of versatility that this card has, being able to remove your Scareclaw Link monsters from play. In order to pop a card, you have your protection, and then on top of that, it allows you to basically demock your opponent's monsters in the sense that you destroy them by battle, then banish them. But now to continue our combo here, we're actually going to use the Scareclaw Kashtira. You saw in the last combo, we got Arrival in order to bring back the Astra so that we had the extra body for Triheart, but the point of this is to get the Defang for the protection. And now we're going to link 3 into our Triheart. We can activate the Defang. Now for this next replay, I want to show what happens if you open both field spells, because I know that with all the new Visa Starfrost archetypes, one of my bigger questions is, all these field spells are good, what can you do with both of them? So we'll start this with the Kashtira field spell, which will net us a search for the Fenrir. From here we can special summon out the Fenrir, which will allow us to get a search, as we're going to get our Scareclaw Kashtira. Then we're going to activate the Scareclaw field spell here, which will add us our Reichheart. we can now normal summon the Reichart, and this will be able to search as our arrival, as we'll need the extender. And from here, you're going to activate the Lightheart. We've already used the Scareclaw field spell, so this will be follow-up as we do go into our Scareclaw arrival here. Bring back out the Reichart, and then we can use the effect of Scareclaw Kashtira in our hand, banishing the arrival in graveyard in order to get 3 monsters for our Triheart. And this will effectively give us the Triheart with the Fenrir off the 2 field spells. Now I'm going to start going through the 3-card combos, and I'm going to go through a couple of variations of 2 different 3-card combos, along with a final one that I believe has a different card in it. But you'll see that we actually have the Fenrir this time around, and we'll be able to special summon that. Notice the search for the Scareclaw Kashtira. We'll normal summon out the Astra now. We can go into our Lightheart. This will net us a search for the field spell, as we're going to activate the field spell now. And what this will do is get us into a second level 3 as we get ourselves the Acro. And from here we're going to special summon out the Acro, special summon out the Reichart. And because we have 3 defense position monsters now, we'll be able to get the search and the draw off of the Reichart as we get ourselves the Defang. And now from here, we're going to be able to draw one as well as we link away into our Triheart. We'll then use the Scareclaw Kashtira from our hand in order to bring it out, banishing one of the level 3s. In this case, I'm banishing the Astra because if you're going first, Acro will actually give you the attack boost for the Triheart. But from here, we're going to go into Shang Tsung, and then we're going to activate the Defang. You can activate the Defang before even going into Triheart. I would also like to point that out. And you'll see that I actually do it in a couple of combos here. But from here, you can activate the Triheart, which will get back our Acro for the attack boost, which will raise it to 3600, and then we'll also be able to get our follow-up with the Reichart in hand added off of the Triheart. Then during our standby phase, the Shang Tsung will be able to bring out a Fenrir, giving you a similar board to what you get with 2 field spells. So in this 5th combo, you'll see that we're going to actually do the same thing as far as our hand goes, and really most of the combo. And something else that I want to point out is that you saw that we went into our Shang Tsung in the previous combo. Because Barrier Statue, the wind one, is banned, we can't go into Arsenal Falcon anymore, which limits the directions that you can go with this deck. So you're going to see that the deck definitely becomes a lot more linear, in my opinion, with these hits. What you're seeing now is just making a lot of the Scareclaw boss monsters coupled with your Kashtiras. As you see, we grab the field spell off of Lightheart. We're going to add the Visa Starfrost off the field spell, and this will allow us to use the Visa Starfrost from our hand, popping the Lightheart, special summoning out the Visa Starfrost. We'll then use the Lightheart from our graveyard as Visa Starfrost is on the field, so we can special summon it. Then we can special summon out our Reichart in defense position so that we can get that search and the draw 1. And from here we'll get our arrival along with the draw, synchro 10 into Baron, and then we can use the arrival here in order to bring back our Reichart. We can then activate the Scareclaw Kashtira from our hand as we'll banish the level 3 in our graveyard, and then we're going to link away here into Triheart, giving us an end board of Triheart, the Fenrir, along with the Baron. Now for this next variation, you'll see that we have the Unicorn this time, and we're going to special summon it, and this time we're going to get Kashtira Birth, as we're going to activate that so we can normal summon the Fenrir, and this time because we've used our normal summon, the Fenrir will add the Scareclaw Kashtira, which will actually use its effect here in order to special summon it, and then we can go into our Lightheart with it after banishing our Astra. The Lightheart will get us the field spell here as we're going to activate the Birth now in order to special summon back out the Scareclaw Kashtira, activate the field spell here so that we can get Reichart, and we can special summon out the Reichart not only to get its effect to search, but we'll also get the draw because of the 3 defense position monsters. We'll get our Defang here as we're going to draw ourselves a card, and we'll then go into our Triheart, putting everything in defense position as we're going to rank 7 now. Again, we no longer have Wind Statue, so that's not an option. What we do have, though, is Shang Tsung along with the protection given by Defang for the Triheart. Our our opponent's turn, we can special summon out Fenrir. So this is the penultimate combo, and this one will have a level 3, any Scareclaw level 3 Visa Starfrost along with the Scareclaw Kashtira. And what we're going to do here is start the same way you would want to anytime that you just see one level 3, and that's by normal summoning it. And going combo is we're going to get the field spell off the Lightheart. We can then use the field spells effect here, which will allow us to add the Reichheart. From here we can use the effect of Visa Starfrost, popping the Lightheart, which will also special summon out the Visas. We'll then use the effect of Lightheart here as we're going to now special summon out the Reichheart. We won't get the draw this time around, but we will get an add as we're going to get the arrival for the extra body. We're then going to go into our Baron here as we're going to bring back out the Scareclaw Reichheart with the arrival, and then we can activate the Scareclaw Kashtira from our hand by banishing the lone level 3 in the graveyard, as this will get us into our Triheart, effectively giving us Triheart along with the Baron negation. So this will be the last replay I show, and it's a full hand this time around, because I believe this is all pretty straightforward. We're going to activate the field spell here. This will get us the Fenrir. Again, you want to do a lot of the stuff that you saw previously depending on what you have in your hand. So in this case, we do have multiple Kashtira access, so this will allow us to get into our Birth. Normal summon our Fenrir like our previous combo. This will get us into our Scareclaw Kashtira, the Fenrir, which is also how we get into our Scareclaw combos. And you're going to see that I'm going to do just that, as we're going to banish a 3. We're keeping the macro here because we're going first and because of the attack boost, but we're going to go into Lightheart, adding us the Scareclaw field spell now. We can then use the Birth, which will bring back our Scareclaw Kashtira, and then we can activate the field spell, getting us into our Reichphobia. And what's cool here now is that we can use the Reichphobia, which will get us the Defang, as we already have the arrival, and then we'll even get a draw as we get a Visa Starfrost, which is a pretty nice draw, but we'll end up using the effect of Visa Starfrost now, popping the Lightheart. This will special summon out the Visa Starfrost. It's important to note that Defang only stops your opponent from targeting and destroying your stuff. You can still do that. But from here we're going to link away into IP Masquerena, and then we're going to activate the arrival here, bringing back our Reichheart, and this will allow us to special summon back out the Lightheart, as you'll see here, and we'll also go into our Baron, special summon out the Acro for it to be the third monster in our hand that we can use for the Triheart, as we do need 3 monsters, and it's just not a regular Link 3 that takes 2+ monsters. But from here, now you have 2 options of going into a rank 7, but in this case scenario where you're going first, I don't think that you actually need to go for the Shang Tsung. You already have your disruptions out, and you can just save resources this way. So with all the combos out of the way, and I hope that was a good enough sample size to kind of show you how these cards pair together and how, depending on what you have, you're going to build your board through both Kashtira and the Scareclaw stuff. But you'll see with the ratios here, I feel it makes it even more straightforward, as you have the 9 copies of the level 3, which as you saw are all 1-card combos. The Scareclaw Kashtira, which if you draw with any of the level 3s, just adds a little bit more to your board. And the Kashtiras now are basically just rank 7 stuff. I know that could be said the same before, but I feel like after the list, without being able to make Wind Statue, as you saw in that last hand, it's going to be better sometimes to just keep your Unicorn and your Fenrir instead of going for your rank 7. I would also like to mention that, as you see, Papayas isn't in the main deck, and it's because it locks you into Exceed Summoning, sort of like Rise Heart. I still want to leave it as an option because it does give you the ability to unlock with the Diablosis. It really depends on how much you want to commit being able to lock yourself out, or whether you actually want to be able to play with both engines more often. You'll see that we also have a 3rd new card here with Trivi Karma, and I don't know how good this will do without Curious, if I'm being honest, as it reads target 1 Visa Starfrost you control and 1 effect monster your opponent controls. Negate that opponent's monster's effect, and if you do, your monster gains attack equal to half of that opponent's monster's original attack and defense, whichever is higher. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one spell trap that mentions Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand except Trivy Karma, and you can only use one effect turn of Trivy Karma and only once that turn. So another thing I would like to point out is that you can still search it via the right card and end your combos with it, but it's not often that you do end with Visa Starfrost on board. Cover the other options here, you'll see that we have Unicorn, Barricade, Board Blocker, and the Asa. And this is here because you see we have the 2 of Lightheart, 2 of Tryhard, and that clogs a lot of our extra deck, especially with the Kashtira stuff, basically taking up half total with the Zeus. So the Almirage is also kind of mandatory here. You can link your level 3s away with this. For Asa, a lot of your monsters just happen to be Earth. And I would like to talk about the ability to play different rank 7s and rank 3s. I think that's also a valid option depending on the format and depending on what's better. Number 3 did have more synergy with the Wind statue, but that's just not in the deck anymore. There is also the Parallel Exceed Dragon, which is something that you can play. Just I wanted to have more space for going second. I think cards like Book of Eclipse, Evenly, and Talents are going to be extremely important, especially with the ability for us to add your Evenly and Talents. The Twin Saw is another good trap card that Scareclaws have that you can play to reinforce your board. I think if I were to play it, it would be a one-of-side option though. That's pretty much all I have for that. I'd like to get onto the card by card, and we're going to start here with Visa Starfrost, copies of it. Then we have the 3 Balone, the 3 Astra, the 3 Acro, the 1 Iceheart, the 2 Unicorn, the 3 Fenrir, 3 Scareclaw Kashtira, the 1 Rhoda, the 3 Reichheart, the 3 Scareclaw Field Spell, the 1 Kashtira Field Spell, Birth, Terraforming, Defang, the Decline, 2 Arrivals, 3 Talents, and 3 Book of Eclipse to round out the main deck. To the extra deck, we have Underworld Goddess, the Appaloosa, the 2 Tryhards, the 2 Lightheart, Masquerena, Almirage, the Baron, Zeus, Ariseheart, Shang Tsung, Big Eye, Dweller, and number 3, which as said can be something else. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. It's Bones, signing out.